Hello and welcome to Furtive Figaro. There's lots to show you with this production. We have a circus, which is very exciting, and also lots of really specialist roles. I would like to start off the series by looking at the character of Vašek. Vašek has a stammer, and it's a subject matter that fascinates me and is very close to my heart because my grandpa suffered from a very bad stammer throughout his life. As a fellow singer, I am fascinated to know what preparation Nicholas Watts, our Vašek, had to put in order to portray this very vulnerable character.
People do call him stupid and refer to him as being slow and all those kinds of things, but he's not that way. He's just, that's what people have made him feel, which has obviously contributed to the stammer. You know, if you have a problem with a certain word, then you would try and replace it with a different word, but it takes you time to think what you're going to say before you say it. For instance, most people stammer on a consonant, and they have particular consonants that they stammer on, which are a problem for them, so they have to kind of divert themselves from that. So from that point of view, I had to pick out certain consonants that I would then use as a stammer for this role. The obvious ones are m for mother, and marry, because he's scared of getting married and his mother's a bit of a bully to him. I am sick with worry. She has planned to kill me. Vašek will be murdered. Oh, he will suffer. I mean, sort of from a vocal point of view, the way I've tried to approach it is this idea of there being kind of a blockage. So you're trying to get the word out, and then it all just kind of comes out in one go. So from a vocal point of view, it feels like you kind of hold the sound back a bit and then let the sound out. And if you think of it as a musical phrase going through each thing, then it's not so restrictive, because at first it's hard because you're obviously stopping your voice at certain times.
The orchestration of both of Vašek's arias is quite fragmented in a way. You get a lot of pizzicato strings, which is quite jerky. It creates a slightly hesitant feeling. There's lots of interplay between pizzicato strings and staccato woodwind. So, as I say, you get a slightly jerky, slightly uneasy, interrupted feature.
So even without the text, the music is already suggesting that the character has some kind of difficulty.
Yes, I've given him some liberty to play around with it, to not stick absolutely 100% to the rhythm on the page, to maybe play with a word that doesn't have a stutter on it musically, but just to maybe slightly delay it. So yes, we've played with it quite a lot.
When we cut the recit and therefore replaced it with dialogue, one huge advantage that had when it came to Vašek was that even if there were times when you simply couldn't make the sung stutter fit with any kind of reality in terms of the words he was singing, when it came to the dialogue, it was possible to make it entirely real. And of course it also meant that we could choose whether he should stutter or not. So that, for example, when he's with Vašek and talks about his mother, he stutters. I'm only doing this with my mother. But when he's with Esmeralda and she says let's elope, and he goes, my mother would have a heart attack. He's so relaxed with her, so happy, so free of pressure.
I will play the Russian bear, I will play the bear. I will play the Russian bear, I will play the... Hello?
This is the infamous bear costume,
Yeah, this is my other character in the opera,
your alter ego.
Brian the Bear.
Brian the Bear, I was just about to ask if you...
Bear. I
Grizzly
haven't
Bear.
actually named him. I think he's been named already. Grizzly.
He's very lifelike. God,
Yeah.
look at the teeth.
Yeah, it's a fantastic costume, although it's very hot.
I bet it's really
Yeah.
hot. So
If
what
you
I really
just
want to
look
look
over
at
there, there's
is
kind
this
of-
exoskeleton bit over here because it's very cool.
Yeah, this goes on first.
Yeah,
It's like a kind of fat.
to give you the big. It's just like a sort of fat suit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Does it
And
weigh?
then
Does it weigh an absolute ton?
It's quite heavy. It just definitely restricts you.
Yeah.
But obviously the padding goes on, and then
Miss Taylor, Mr. Savage, and Lady
the bear goes on top
This
of
is
it.
your call for the Act 2 finale.
My particular favourite is the rubber claw.
Oh, the paws. Let me see.
Yeah, they get very sweaty, unfortunately.
Oh, I bet they do. Ah, well, I have to say it looks absolutely fantastic. I'm sure it's roasting, but definitely the best costume of the evening.
That bear costume, I think, costs as much as the rest of the costumes put together, and it's on stage for about 30 seconds, but it's absolutely vital. And when he comes on and he takes the head off and goes, it's not a bear, I'm Vašek, you see this boy, suddenly he's never been happier in his life. And of course everyone's reaction is to sort of sigh at him and complain about how he scared them. But his mother's reaction is very interesting. She hits him and she says, I'm ashamed of you. And I find it the most tragic moment of the whole piece, because he comes in and he thinks, I've found myself, I've finally found what I want to do. I want to run off and join the circus and be a bear. And at that very moment his mother says, I'm ashamed of you, take that off, you're a disgrace. And his bubble is popped and you can see him shrivel in front of your eyes, and it's the most sort of sad pre-ending before the sort of happy finale of Vašek Branyeni.